Time, our most valuable non-renewable resource that we all know we won't get back, but act as if we will. We waste minutes, hours, days, weeks, months, and arguably even years falsely believing that the odd scroll on TikTok, the odd binge of that new Netflix series, and the odd twiddle of the thumb won't take us away from getting important things done. These are just a few very simple and, dare I say, easy time-saving habits that I've implemented to save me over 20 hours per week. I'm just keeping it real. I can guarantee that I have 20 hours more than the average person because of these habits. As someone who is doing a master's degree, working full-time, is a school governor, creates content, is leading a period poverty initiative across the globe in Kenya. Damn! Whew. I need these habits. I stand by these habits and I want to share them with you. Right up at number 1 is task pairing. This is essentially just pairing an active task with a passive task. A passive task is basically something that involves some sort of physical movement. So it can be going for a walk, doing some exercise, cleaning, cooking, just doing some housework. And then your active tasks are the ones that require like a higher degree of cognitive engagement. Like you need to be thinking, you need to be focused, you need to have your head down, you need to be using your brain, the prefrontal cortex. In simple terms, it just means tasks where you need to really sit and think. So that can range from anything like just doing your work, like your 9-to-5 work, editing content, listening to a podcast, writing, reading, all of these different things that just require a higher degree or a certain level of like cognitive engagement, some focus, some let's get to work. So Taylor Burrell on YouTube, she really helpfully highlighted how you can't do 2 active tasks at once and you can't do 2 passive tasks at once. They need to come together. I mean, in order to maximize productivity and the time that you're spending, it helps a lot if you were to just pair these 2 things up. So for example, that might look like going for a walk and listening to a podcast. So one active task, which is listening to a podcast, and then the passive task of going for a walk, cleaning the house whilst on the phone, editing content whilst on the train. This is how you basically ensure that you are maximizing, squeezing, making the most out of the time that you have in a day. So now I have just taken 2 tasks that require 1 hour each and merged them into 1 hour of the day instead of 2 hours. So I like to watch a podcast, which typically is like 1 hour on YouTube every day, or at least this is in the working week, so 5 times a week. And that would require 5 hours of my time. Instead of sitting and watching this video on YouTube, I will merge this with the hour I would have already spent in the gym that day. If I go to the gym 5 times per week and listen to those podcasts whilst I'm at the gym, that has saved me 5 hours from sitting down and watching this podcast episode, because I've now linked this up. I've paired this with my active task, which is being in the gym. I also like to read for 30 minutes a day, but when I found how much time this was taking out of my schedule, I was like, this needs to be paired up with something. Now, as the sun has started to shine a bit, it was all a lie. Guys, it was all a lie. I've decided to go for daily walks, and now I just listen to that audiobook on my daily walks instead of sitting down and reading the book. This again is just from Monday to Friday in the work week when I'm really busy, but typically I do prefer to actually read the physical book. So Saturdays and Sundays I don't compromise on that. I will read the physical book, but during the work week I will, instead of sitting down and taking 30 minutes to read a book, I will on my walk listen to the book. So now I've gone for my walk, which is the passive task, but I've also combined that or paired that with an active task, which saves me 30 minutes per day. So in a week, that is 2.5 hours saved. The second habit is just adhering to the best of my ability to Parkinson's law. The idea here is that your tasks, they expand to fill the time that has been allocated for its completion. So this law basically suggests that the amount of time that you allocate and you designate to a certain task, that is how long it will take you to complete it. So if you say that you're going to finish a task in the next 2 weeks, or you're going to finish a project in the next 2 weeks, that's how long it will take. Even if you can do it quicker, because you have actively designated or allocated, let's say 2 weeks to this task, it will take you 2 weeks to finish. And that's just because in the back of your mind, you know that there's no urgency. You know you have 2 weeks to finish this thing. If you set 10 minutes to complete a task, then 10 minutes it will take. So for example, if I said I'm gonna block out 5 hours today to create this YouTube video, best believe it would have taken me 5 hours to do this video. I would have filled that time with procrastination, with, just taking more time doing my hair, like random side quests, like trying to get my hair looking real good. even though it does already, okay. I used to block out 1 hour per day for admin tasks. However, after learning about Parkinson's law, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna shave off 30 minutes from this and let's just see. It might not work out, but let's just see if this law does actually work. This adjustment also came from a place where it was like, I know I can get this thing done quicker. I know I can whack out these tasks so much quicker, but because I've set 1 hour to do it, I might go downstairs and, you know, make a drink or do this or do that. You know, like when you just get like random thoughts and you just ask Google. I might spend time doing that because I've just got that extra time. But I was like, you know what? No, we're gonna shave off 30 minutes from this and let's see if we can actually get it done. In all honesty, this did take me a while to adjust to, like going from 1 hour to do my admin blocks to then 30 minutes. There were some days when I was starting out that it would take me 45 minutes instead of 30 minutes, but at least still I shaved off 15 minutes. But now I've got to the point where it does take me like 30 minutes or just over 30 minutes. And it's like, how did we get here? I basically just make sure I throw my phone away into my room. I have an office, which is where I do all of my work, and I just lock myself in my office for those 30 minutes and just literally bang out the work. I take my phone out of the room, number one. Secondly, I literally just try and use as many keyboard shortcuts as possible. And number three, I think the other thing that I do that makes it a bit easier is just gamifying the process a tiny bit. So I will sometimes have a timer up on like my laptop. Oh. One thing I got to do, one thing I cannot forget is putting on my AirPods and pressing play on some Amapiano music. Yes, so I'll have some music playing, I'll have some piano playing, I'll have the timer on my laptop, I'll be using all these shortcuts. My phone is out the room, like I don't have access to like my phone or any notifications. And yeah, it's just a jolly good time. It's just, it feels like, oh, like I just need to finish this in the 30 minutes. And I'm kind of like racing against time. It may sound weird or toxic, but it works for me. And yeah, literally now I get those admin tasks done either within 30 minutes or just over, which is a significant amount of time removed every single week. You can do this in your own way, obviously, because your tasks will be different to mine. But the admin task thing, I was like, do you know what? A lot of these tasks, sometimes it's like I can just finish you a lot quicker. I don't need to like designate so much time for this. So yeah, something as simple as that, just adhering to Parkinson's law, saves me 2.5 hours per week. So the third point is matched energy. And when I discovered this is essentially about matching your energy with the tasks that you need to do in the day. So I had to figure out where I am in the mornings in terms of energy, where I am in the afternoons, and where I am in the evenings. I am like a productivity machine in the mornings before work. In the early mornings, I can get so much it's just the absolute best zone for me to do like any cognitive demanding kind of work. So working on my assignments, financial planning, you know, just all of those like, they need that cognitive function all the way up here. Morning time is the best time for me to do that. But smack bang in the middle of those afternoons during the work week, like let's say 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, slumped. I just feel so slumped and so tired because I've been up since like 5:30 in the morning. I may have gone to the gym in the morning. I've done like 90 minutes solid of high functioning kind of work before starting my 9 to 5. I would have then started my 9 to 5, been in meetings, doing some work. So by the afternoon, I am completely like, I need energy. Whereas in the evenings, I'm still productive, but I'm more likely to be more productive if I'm doing more creative kind of work. All I need to do is just put in my headphones, press play on that piano again, and get some creative kind of work done. For example, even like with the initiative I'm doing in Kenya as well, like in terms of designing how the book looks like, I do that with some headphones in, some music in the evening time, like when I can just explore and just like be a bit more creative. And yeah, it does help with like planning in the future, because in that state in the evenings when I'm just a bit more creative with things, there are no limits, there's no boundaries. I'm not using like some logical approaches to things. I'm just like, no, let's go big, let's go like here, let's go there. And yeah, that's the best time where I can be really creative. After realizing this, that's when I just basically readjusted and rejigged my day. So where typically I'd wake up at around 5:30 in the morning, go to the gym, come back, do 90 minutes of solid work, and then start my 9 to 5, and the day proceeds like that. I started to find, okay, in the mornings that early, I already have tons of energy. Why am I using this, exerting this energy in the gym when I already have lots of energy already? In the afternoons is when I need energy, so that's the best time for me to go to the gym instead. Especially because when I come from the gym, I have a second shower in the day, and it literally just feels like I'm just restarting the day. I feel rejuvenated, I feel fresh, you know. It's like, okay, cool, let's do the second lap, let's do the last lap of the day. I found that I was kind of wasting my energy by going to the gym early in the mornings because I already had lots of energy. That was the time that I'm most energetic and can do like my best high functioning work. The time I actually really did need some energy was in the afternoons when I feel a lot more slumped because of all the hours I've been up for and haven't exercised as well in the morning. So now I've pushed this, I've rejigged some things, and in the mornings I just do the high function work I need to do, and then I start my 9 to 5. Then in the afternoons, that's when I go to the gym, come back feeling refreshed, have another shower, feel like, okay, it's a new day, what do we need to do, who do we need to call? And then yeah, in the evenings I still do my creative work. So this tactic, basically like matching my energy with the tasks that I need to do in the day, really helped, because if I was to swap things around as well, let's say my morning and my evening routine, if I was to try and do my creative tasks in the morning, I wouldn't have a problem. But if I was to try and do my high functioning tasks in the evening where I don't have as much energy and I just need to like put some headphones and just do some creative work that doesn't require much, you know, cognitive engagement, then yeah, I wouldn't get much done. So I'm saving a lot of time, and specifically with that afternoon slump, that 1 hour slump I used to have in the afternoons, I have saved that 1 hour by using that 1 hour that I tend to be slumped by forcing myself to get in the gym and getting my energy back. So that is 1 hour saved per day because of that adjustment. And 1 hour per day is 5 hours in a week. I hope this video was helpful. I hope it blessed you in the way that it needed to bless you. I hope that future you can save over 20 hours per week than past you by implementing these current methods. See you next time. Mwah. Now that saves me 30 minutes per day, and that's what I do instead is I just listen to it in the audio on the